Chair now recognizes Representative Schakowsky for 5 minutes, please.
Thank you so much. You know, we absolutely all have to have a sense of urgency. The science is so clear that the climate crisis is an existential one for us. And if we're to save our planet for our children and grandchildren, we have to accept that challenge right now. So to ensure temperatures don't rise above 2 degrees Celsius, and to avoid climate change's worst consequences, I think we do need to go beyond reducing emissions. Rapidly transitioning from fossil fuels, building nature-based infrastructures, and I think carbon capture are all necessary. We simply can't afford to pursue one solution at a time. We also can't afford to focus too much on mitigation while ignoring the real problem of being the world's largest emitters of greenhouse gases historically. Still, carbon capture can be part of the solution, I think. So, Mr. Mackle, in your opinion, would the Use It Act detract from or discourage the use of other strategies like nature-based solutions?
Thanks for that question. I don't think it would detract from nature-based solutions because I think that that's a completely different area when it comes to policy and when it comes to policy needs and funding needs. When we're talking about industrial direct air capture, this is a technological approach that really needs an injection of capital to foster technological innovations in the chemical processes, in the industrial processes needed to capture the CO2. The nature-based solutions are very important, but it's sort of a different arena, I think, from this. And so both are needed, and they're complementary, not competing.
So you think it's important to pursue multiple climate solutions alongside carbon capture technology?
Definitely. We're in all of the above, low carbon energy. We take an all of the above low carbon energy perspective.
Thanks. And I'm glad that companies like Lanza Tech, which, as Dr. Harmon said, is in my district. I'm very proud of that. And I appreciate your finding innovative solutions to address the climate crisis. So, Dr. Harmon, how can creative approaches to utilization reduce emissions and repurposing CO2 benefit the ways in which, in your opinion, how does utilization need to be limited regarding enhanced oil? No, is that right? Do I want those? Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about Lanza.
Well, to your first question, how can utilization contribute to our climate objectives in writ large? As I said earlier, we all understand implicitly that we need carbon in our future. We will need aviation fuel. We will need plastics. And yet the carbon that's being emitted today that we see as a liability from a climate perspective is actually the building block that we need. So utilization in the form of products that substitute for those that we would get from petroleum or from natural gas, in fact, do dual value. On the one hand, they're producing new low-carbon alternatives, and they are reducing the emissions, the atmospheric emissions. And this is all done in the context of actually creating value and creating money. None of our partners are doing it for charity or to meet regulatory demands. They're doing it because they can make money from emissions.
And I appreciate the list of different kinds of products that can be produced that you included. I wanted to also ask Mr. Noel, do you think that we can have some guardrails? Do you think we need to limit the use of capturing carbon for enhanced oil recovery?
Absolutely. EOR operations, as I said in my testimony, are part of an expansion strategy. They can't be siloed off from the rest of a company's portfolio.
So it's not an all or nothing thing. We can put some guardrails, some limitations on the kind of work that we do.
The way that carbon capture is currently practiced, with all the carbon capture in this country sold back to the oil companies, should not inspire public confidence.
I appreciate that. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.